Okay, here we go. Instead of doing recording directly to computer, I'll go ahead and stream to YouTube for both vertical, horizontal, and see how long it takes before I'm able to download it. The only issue is it takes a long time. I think it takes a day before the video is actually able to be downloaded, which kind of sucks. I may need to think of something else to post for tonight. That's okay. Going through and blocking in our pose and position of everything. This back arm is the most wicked position. It is scary, but fun nonetheless. So recording with this helps me to see exactly how much intensity I need to put into my pencil strokes. And I'm not gonna put in too much. I want to use my Inkwash and not my pencil. So I'm a little... I've broken that just a bit. Part's a little tricky. No bump there. Okay. I would like to do this in pencil, but we complete it in pencil. But I need some ink wash for the next part as well. My little sketch card. I really miss working with just plain pencil and paper. Cheapest and simplest. I'll go ahead and clean this up just a little. Not as much hair over here. I try to clean up what I can here. I did go a little too far with the hip. See if I can fit in a little bit of ink wash before I go here. Heck, I may just stick with traditional doing these studies. I feel much better doing it this way. Let's get our dirty ink palette here. Most definitely dirty. Let's see if I need to. Okay. We'll squirt a couple dropperfuls of water on a second bubble. I'm going to drop or add 2 drops of ink to that bubble. I have a brush here ready to go. Go ahead and get it wet. Still a little dirty from the last time I used it, looks like. That's okay. It was ink as well. Dry it off a little so it's not too bad. Okay, so let's get an idea of how much ink we're going to need. I'm barely putting in my brush. Oops, that might be too much. Sheesh. Let's see what it looks like. Holy cow, that's dark. Don't let that fool you, because sometimes it's lighter when it's applied to the paper. And here, I have a little test strip here. That's pretty dark. Not quite as dark as, that's not quite the darkness that I wanted. I wanted it much lighter. So let's go into a different bubble. Yeah, I'm working at an angle here, so I'm trying not to spill it. Two droppers full of distilled water, so it's clean. I'm going to take this dry brush over my scrap paper. I'm going to dry off this inked up brush, and then I'm going to clean it off with this water. And then I'm going to go through, clean off my brush. How's that look? I like that better. I can tell already. Now when I apply it, it's going to come out pretty darn light. But it's going to give you a nice start. To some tones and some shade here. So let's plop it on. I'm gonna say, as an artist, you typically, it's it's not unheard of to spend a lot of time setting up just to spend very little time actually using it. I'll play with this in the hair a little bit so I get a feel for the brush. Oops, I forgot to put it back on. There we go. And I'm putting a gentle application of this gray. this ink wash. I don't need a whole lot. Probably should have. Cleaned up the gluteus maximus a little bit better. Did not capture that shape very well. In fact, going through and adding in my shading here, my thigh is thinner than my reference. Applying watercolor is basically what this is. Is a different sort of discipline than using graphite to create your shading and depth and all that. Such as laying down a stroke of gray that's not just, sort of drawn in, but you can capture a gradation of shade and tone with your brush stroke. Wasn't too good of an idea to slap on too much water with this paper, but that's okay. Still having fun with it. I'm gonna let it dry. And then I'm gonna come back, do some more. Okay, I'm gonna